This is a neat point about what kinds of creatures could possibly evolve to have intelligence, to have a kind of human intelligence, or what rationality or reason and things like that. Instead of quoting it, I'll just talk about this. Is on page 236, so if you want to hear Carl Sagan talk about it. He says that there's two ideas. There's the idea that any species could possibly evolve to have great intelligence. So in a sense, you could have something like, I can't remember, there's a game I play sometimes, I'm not sure, it's called Galactic Civilizations or something like that, in which it's a space game, and the races in the game are all kinds of things. There's like spider people, and there's all kinds of like weird creatures that become super intelligent, and then they have spaceships and they roam around and stuff. They're equal to humans in that regard. So that's one idea. One idea is that certain environmental conditions will just favor a kind of species. That species will evolve and evolve and evolve and get selected for because it's the certain environment that they're specialized in. And then that species will become the dominant species and will become hyper intelligent and will get beyond their pre-warp civilization, and then they'll fly around in space. So there could be spider people, there could be fish people, there could be seal people, there could be whatever, goo people, and whatever, right? The other theory is that the kinds of species that will get to space are going to be similar to us. So it's like the Star Trek hypothesis. So notice in Star Trek, the species that are floating around, there are some exceptions, there are some weird things, but for the most part, the species floating around the Earth are human-like. They're humanoid, it's called. So Klingons are humanoid. There's humans, there's the Klingons, there's the Romulans, even the Borg are man-like, etc., etc. They're all human-like. They have 2 eyes and they're 4 appendages and whatever, right? There's that idea. That's the other idea. The idea is that it's not anything goes. It's not as if ants in some context you could evolve ants into super intelligent beings. There's no way. There's no hive mind. There's not going to be some species that has a hive mind with a hive mind like bees and like ants that are going to evolve into space travelers. This is not going to happen. There's no conditions in which that would happen. Any species that gets to space are going to be human-like. So there's going to be I assume there are, just statistically, there are other living things out in space, but they're going to look sort of like us. They might look like Klingons. They might look like, some of the Deep Space Nine species with weird, marks on their head and stuff. There's going to be some differences, but they're not going to be goo people. They're not going to be spider people. That's nonsense. Anyways, there's 2 points of view, and they're interesting to think about. And by the way, Carl Sagan's perspective on this, his point of view is that there could be anything goes, which I think is ridiculous, but